Hi everyone, it's Chelle. Welcome back to Chelle Crochet. It's the middle of June. Let's check in. Hi everyone, it's Chelle. Welcome back. How are you today? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to everybody who's new, and of course welcome to all my friends who come and see me on a semi-monthly basis a couple times a month when I'm podcasting. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. We're going to talk about yarn, a lot of yarn this time, and we're going to talk about some crochet. So let's get into it. Okay, so first you're going to see a little clip. We're going to go back in time to June 1st when I got my box from Yarn Canada. Here it is. So how about a little yarn haul portion for this mid-month check-in? I got my box from Yarn Canada and I wanted to open it with you, so I'm recording this right away on June 1st, and it'll appear in my mid-month video. So here we go. Getting my scissors. Opening the box. Carefully to not rip any yarn. Let's dig in. On the very top, I can see the cotton, and it was called Silver, and I got 2 of them, and I was kind of hoping there might be actually a silver streamer, but there's not, and that's fine. It's just a really nice light gray. So these are the 1 pound 454 gram factory millings surplus and 100% cotton. That's how they come. You can see that, and you can see the back of this one. I can figure out the way to hold things. There we go. And so basically it's like 3 partial skeins. Look very much like Handy Crafter. I do not need to open it yet, so I won't. And so I have one of these already. Bernat Softy Chunky Twist in this colorway here, which I think is just called Taupe Twist. Should I test myself? Yep, Taupe Twist. So now I have 3. So what I'm hoping for is a hat for one and a neck warmer for another, because that's a nice male neutral color. I mean, a lady is welcome to have it too, but I just feel like a lot of the yarn I get gravitates more towards female than male, so that's what I have that in mind for. And because it's a size 6, it will work up super quick. Yay. And then this is what I was really intrigued about, and I got it in 2 different colorways. The Softy Baby Cotton, and this one here, which is called Sand. So this one's called Sand, and it is very sandy. Got a little golden hue to it, I guess I could say, in the you know, the tan realm, I should say. So it's a little golden for tan, I guess. That's what it reminds me of anyway. And I know this is really soft because this is the yarn I held double with the poncho I made with I should have put that on for this video. The poncho I made, I don't know if I can get it in the camera. There. And then I'll put you back and I'll edit that out. Yeah, so I had held that double with some of that Advent cotton that I had got from Crystal last year. So, and then the second one was the variegated version, which is called Beach Baby Variegated. Or they write Varg on here. So let me grab one of each. First of all, I'll show you this one a little bit better because I took it away too quick. There you go. And then I'll show you them together. So those will go really nicely together. So I have a couple of different ideas for what I wanted this for, but mostly I just wanted the yarn because mostly you're going to see this at either Spin Right or like on, sorry, not Spin Right. You would see it at Spin Right, but that's not what I meant. Yarn Inspirations would have this on their website. Also, you would be able to see it at Michael's some of the times, and in Walmart in person, more so than online. And Lens Mills carries it. And usually it's anywhere between $5, which you'd be lucky to see it for $5, to $7, yes, more likely, high 6 and change to $7 per skein, right? And think the bill's down there at the bottom, but I think I got this for a really good deal. So we'll get back to that in a sec. And I'm just noticing a lollipop, which is adorable. And my husband will be even happier now that he got me this present because he's a lollipop fiend. Okay, so to add to my pop collection, I got more than I thought. I guess I was just evening out my numbers. So I got 2 in Moonshadow. So that's a very light lilac to a purple to a gold to a white with gray, and then more light lilac in the center. And they are wrapped similarly in this case. And I got 2 of this one, Gold Rush. Yeah. Oh, Gold Rush River. There you go. So we've got gold with a aqua to a denim-y color to a purple back to the gold, and there's actually 2 golds in there. And when they wrap them so close together, it's hard to tell, but there's a brighter gold and a lighter gold. So that's interesting because if I do it the color control way, I would pick those 2 colors apart. And one of the golds is similar in the other cake there. And then I got this one. Now this one is very interesting to me, and I got 4 of them because I don't have anything like this in the Bernat pop, but yet 2 of the other cakes I do have gray in them, so that will go well. And they all seem to have this gold going on. This one's very sunsetish. So you have like a silvery gray in the middle to a very light salmon to a darker salmon color or coral color, and then gold, and then dark gray with a very blue tinge to it. And I think the outside gray is the same as the center gray, a silvery color. So 4 of those. And this one is called Handcrafted. Interesting color name. Shelle's pretty happy with that. So I will do my best to look up the individual prices and include it in the bottom of the video here. And yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why they wouldn't put it on the bill because they won't be that price now anyway, even if they have any left. So yeah, I was happy to find that sale though. So just a little yarn haul to insert into my mid-June video when it comes out. And maybe I'll have even made something with some of this yarn by then. Who knows? Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so if you have any questions about any of the stuff I discussed from Yarn Canada, please just leave me a comment below, and just have a look on their website. Where I found all the stuff that was on sale when I shopped was under the deals category. So good luck and happy shopping. And let's get into some finished objects. I do have a couple to show you. It's going to be interesting to see what happens by the end of the month because I'm about to be in birthday gift mode for my bestie, and I won't be able to show any of that at the end of the June. So we'll see what happens then. But I do have a couple of things I can show you now. I have made a couple of market bags. So there is this one here. I don't know which way to best hold it. Let me just disappear for you. And here's the strap. So this is a basic bottom up construction. You start with a chain as long as you think you want it, and then just do your increases on both ends until you think you have enough. So I started with single crochet, transition to half double, and then transition to double to keep going. I stay in the spiral until I want to get to the middle section where I do some cross stitches, and at that point I make myself a seam on one side of the bag so it can be fairly hidden, and then just keep going. So this pattern has some half doubles and cross stitches in that section, and then back to doubles, and again in the other cross stitch section. So the yarn, the multicolor, which is really cool, is Handicrafter, and it looked kind of vintage. The label's quite old. It came from Cambridge Fibers, and the blue was considered off shade Lily Sugar and Cream last year, a year ago May, from the Spin Right factory outlet store, ordered online last May. So yeah, that turned out well. I just thought that the colors were a bit much to just stay solid, so I threw some blue in there to give it a little something something. So that's the first one I did. And then I thought I'd break up the yarn because there's going to be more yarn at the end, but I did pick up this cotton cake on clearance at Michael's since we reopened here in Ontario, and the color is called Green Grapevine, And this used about 2/3 of the cake. And it's just very similar to what I just showed you. I stayed with all double crochet except for the sections where I brought in some of the cross stitches just to give it a little texture and something. No color control really done except for the band, the strap. And a couple of little things I wasn't pleased about. You can see there is like a little blotch there. I'm not too picky about that sort of stuff with yarn. If that was throughout the whole lime section of this yarn where it kept popping in and out, it wouldn't bother me as much as it does just by itself like that, because I don't see it happening anywhere else in the yarn. Actually, I lied. There's 2 sections at the back where you can see it and 1 at the front, but not in this other section of lime at all. And yeah, I know a lot of Caron cakes, the different varieties of them have like little blotches of color in them, and even the Bernat Pops do. I just think it needs to be random and like consistent, not just an accident, where this looks more like an accident with the dye. Anyway, is what it is. Could have cut it out, didn't. It's just a little market bag. So, and I think the colors are really pretty, and just doing a little bit of cross stitches gives it a little bit of texture. So those 2 are pretty quick makes. I've also been trying to use up some of my cakes and things I don't have too much of, but I was kind of tapping into that rainbow Pride Month feeling from my coaster set I did last time. And I used Mandala. This I had gotten on clearance at Lens Mills last year. The colorway is called Wizard. And this is how the cake is supposed to look. And I had 2 of these. But there is some aqua and like lime green, and only 1 of the 2 cakes had that in it. So I choose, and if you look carefully at this, you don't see any sort of a taupey brownie color, and that was in both cakes. So I took out those colors and used it all in here. So all that's left behind are like the brighter reddy, orangey, yellow, purple colors. So I'll see what I can do with that other one, but here's the first one I made. So starts at the bottom and works its way up. This is a pattern by Fibre Flux that I actually found because of Sharon at Sharon's Crochet Corner. Hi Sharon, and thank you for including that pattern information in your video. I loved making this. I messed up at the bottom, so I had to do a little shell fix. And I just made a patch and sewed it together to make it work. But I wanted to initially to start it wider than the pattern calls for, but then I didn't like how it looked. So I just took it out, picked up the stitches with the yarn on a yarn needle and held them so they wouldn't fall apart. And then I just made another little sort of swatch for the bottom based on the pattern and sewed them together. Who will ever know, right? Anyway, I love the lacy look of these stitches, and basically you're doing 3 double crochets, chain 3 and another double crochet into the same stitch, and it's nice and drapey. And yeah, and then I just did a very light shell border around the whole thing in this very, very light gray I had that is a Bernat baby yarn. I had a whole bunch of that, so I just used it for this. So happy with that one. Very Pride-esque, I think, which I love. Yay. Okay, and then one last thing. I've been doing a bit of mamming, so mile a minute. I have been learning mile a minute through Jayda Stitch's calendar blanket, which is the Mighty Mile a Minute, where we're doing a different stitch each month, and we're 6 months through, so that one's going well. And I'm also forcing myself to do join as you go on that project. Pushes me a little out of my comfort zone because not enjoying it, but wanting to make that effort to keep going. So for this blanket, I picked the January stitch, which is the basic shell, or like the corner of a granny square pattern, and I made a baby blanket. And this still needs to get put in the dryer and loosened up and stuff, so hasn't been blocked. But here she is. I'll just hold her up and disappear for you. You can see what I've done. So this is primarily scraps. The inspiration was to use up this sage green I had left over from the baby blanket I had made last year. And what I decided to do, because of the amount of yarn I had for that, is do 2 colors every other row, and one of those colors would get repeated in a solid. So here, starting with the pink, and then the pink is down here, that green going into that orange, and then you see orange and blue. You don't see the blue repeated, and then to this aqua, and you get the aqua repeated, and in this middle strip, the aqua and the purple get repeated, and then to a darker purple with yellow, the yellow gets repeated, to a very soft gray with light pink, and the gray gets repeated, and then just regular you know, the shells to do the borders all the way around. I chose to single crochet these together so the back has texture, and I rarely ever do that. I like to whip stitch most of my projects, but I thought that this was really kind of interesting for a baby blanket, just to have that little texture at the back. Yeah, and I'm super happy with that. It's so colorful and it's so quick. So 40 sets of shells, 40 sets of shells per strip, and then just that finishing row you need to be able to do your top and bottom to have it squared off. And then I did one full round of granny stitch all the way around it, and then one round of single crochet all the way around that, just to finish her off there. So that will be going into the charity bin pile. So happy with that as well. And I have a full version on the go that I will show you at the end of the month, regardless of how far I've gotten on it. But I'm using primarily scraps for that. I've thrown in like certain balls of yarn that I have only one skein of, for example, to get the colors the way I want them. But I'm starting to make use of some of that tangled yarn I got from Cambridge Fibers. And primarily that one I'm using black to edge all my strips, and it's really popping the colors nicely. But also that black yarn for the most part is in really good shape, so it really feels like brand new yarn even though I'm considering it scraps. So that's been fun. And what I liked about it was I wanted to try to find something that during the warmer months it won't be too hot to work on. I was like, how am I going to do any blankets from now until like end of September? And so now I figured out a little bit of a way to do that. And yeah, so we will see where that all gets by the end of the month. Okay, so as I alluded to, we finally came out of our lockdown / stay-at-home order in the early part of June, and here in Ontario the stores finally opened to 15% capacity on Friday, June the 11th. And you know, I am adventurous but not as adventurous as some, so I did not make it out to the store until Sunday. But Sunday morning I was just feeling kind of motivated to go and see what I might find. Crystal, Ricola's Crochet Corner, was kind enough to let me know the clearance stuff she had found at Walmart when she was there shopping for her kids. But my Walmart was still really lined up, so I decided to just pop over to Michael's and see what was going on there. And the first thing I noticed was an end cap with 60% off on it. So walked over there. And I guess I'll just tell you this part now rather than at the end, but I ended up shopping, going up and down the aisles, and there's clearance everywhere, so you kind of had to look, but a lot of it was gone because people had been in there. There was complete sections in the different yarn section that were gone, like colorways completely gone, the ones that were on clearance, right? I don't blame them, that they were very, very good deals. But when I got back, there had been some Craft Smart Gray left there, and I just asked the girl and I said, was this supposed to be here? Because there's all of these in here. And she's like, no, they're not. They're just 25% off. And I said, okay, fine. So I just stacked them here for you. Well, she was changing the sign on that end cap from 60% off to 70% off. So everything I had picked up in that area was actually even better than what I thought. So I have the little bill here so I can go through with you. So I got some of this Bernat blanket. It's called Baby Blanket, because that was the one that was specifically on sale in only certain colorways. And this one is called Mushroom. So that's a nice neutral. Doesn't really scream baby to me at all, so super happy to get it on sale. And so 70% off made these $3.60 each. And the other color I found was this one called Orange Flamingo. So again, $3.60. Regular price in Canada, $11.99. Score. And then the cotton cake you saw already in the market bag was one. The other one I got was called Sea Lavender. They only had one of these, and the reason I picked this up is because I had got 3 of these when cakes were on sale at the beginning of the spring. So now I have enough to actually make something substantial with this colorway if I want to. Maybe even like a little cotton blanket. And then I found it also in Grayscale. And this was handy because I had gotten one of the cotton cake angel cakes in just plain gray. So now I have a solid gray and this to kind of complement each other. And those were also regular $11.99, so they were $3.60 each. So I'm trying to not have my feelings hurt for the fact that I bought the cakes earlier in the spring, because there's hardly any there, right? So a lot of what they had in this clearance area was baby stuff, and I wasn't really interested in anything other than the Bernat blanket. And then some of the yarn was just like marked down in the clearance aisle itself. So this particular colorway of Impeccable was $2. And this again, I'm thinking male, masculine tones there for hats and neck warmers for the upcoming winter months. So I got a couple of those. And then the last thing I found, just sort of, there's only one of these left. And I had noticed that these were on clearance for a while, but it's just these little storage bags. And I don't know what they go for regularly, but this was only $3. And you can see on the front that it's a decent size tote bag there. So yeah, so that was my little haul from the first stop. And then I thought, I'm gonna try again, which store should I go to? Because I have about 4 Michaels within a half an hour, no matter which way I drive from my house. You know, some of them are only 15 minutes away, but in any direction, if I drive for less than half an hour, I can hit 4 different Michaels. So the second store I was able to find, let me switch bills here. This colorway of skinny cake. So here we go. Isn't that gorgeous? For $5 on clearance. So this wasn't the end capped style. This was just within the aisle itself. So this is called Tarte Tatin. So T-A-R-T-E and then T-A-T-I-N. Isn't that so pretty? And it's such a vibrant colorway that I want to do that marled thing I did with the other blanket. I'll pop up a picture here of that blanket. So I'll use a solid color with this and then let those colors change on their own. That's going to be gorgeous. So I got 3 of those. And then in the end cap for the 70% off, I was able to find 2 more of these. This one is called Gray Chill. So again, $3.80. And this one is called Marshmallow. Yeah, so that couldn't be resisted. And then within the aisle itself, just a couple more colorways of the Impeccable. I was able to grab this one, which I just think is adorable, $2. And this one is called Rose Fog Variegated. And then the solids, which you get a little bit more yardage for, this one is just called Magenta. Nice bright pink. Awesome. So, yeah, I think I covered all of my prices and everything, but it was exciting to be back in the store. I still haven't gotten to Walmart yet. I'm hearing some good things about some Bernat Premium for $2 if there's any left, and maybe a couple of the larger skeins of Red Heart Comfort in the solids. But I'm very strategic, right? I'm not getting yarn just because it's on sale. We were talking about this a little bit on Petra's Live the other day. I'm specifically looking for things that I know I'll use. That Bernat blanket yarn is very popular for the bath mats. I just hold it double with some cotton, and people are liking those. So I'm trying to pick up the colorways when it makes sense. It doesn't really make sense to me to pay $12 for one ball of yarn to make a bath mat with it. So I really like getting that Bernat blanket when it's super on sale. And never mind, it doesn't also make sense to spend $12 a skein to make a blanket, because if you're gonna need 6 of them, that's a really expensive blanket. So I have to take advantage of when I see that. And in terms of how I strategically shop is, I won't buy things that I know I'm not going to use. I stay away from wool blends because I'm not a wool person. I stay very far away from hand wash, lay flat to dry, because I don't enjoy having to take that much care with things. I want to know that they can manage being washed in the machine and dried in the dryer, because I just think it's easier, and that helps me be strategic and not just buy something because it's on sale. So yeah, that was a nice little pick-me-up to you know, sort of feel like things are starting to get back to normal. And we'll see how things go now that people are out and about, but hopefully everyone's being still very cautious. And yeah, anyway, that should basically wrap it up for mid-June. I have started a sweater for my bestie, which is going to be a challenge for me because I won't be able to really show you guys until after the big birthday has happened. And I have a couple of other surprises in mind that I also won't be able to show. But I do have the Mile of Minute on the go, and we'll see what other little things I can get up to by the end of the month. And of course, we'll check in with you on how my calendar cal is doing. Anyway, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you are doing well, and have a great day. Happy crochet. Bye.